Can he wheel it around 4 or 5 cars and get out in front here in this 20-lap feature? Domer on the outside, Tracy Wolf in the 21 to the inside. Wolf's got a second place finish to his credit this year, but no trips to victory lane here at Lucas Oil Speedway. He will lead them around with 1 lap in his back pocket. Here is Domer. Takes the high side off the top of turn number 2, and Fuqua has already found his way around a couple of cars. And the 87 lying in the weeds right behind the top 2 with Button Buck Ryan Middaugh to his outside. There are your top 4 runners.
Stay practically in parade lap formation, side by side, nose to tail, as Chase Domer finally able to eke out in front, running that top side. All of the work that was done during intermission, the track still extremely racy. As you see a little bit of debris there on the exit of turn 4. Still no worse for the wear as it's been battered around. Your chase for the lead has Domer in front, followed by the pair of 21s with Wolf and Middaugh.
Fuqua there as well as he battles off the bottom of the track to try and pull back up in front of Button Buck. Does he have another good run in him here tonight? We'll see. Plenty of good cars in front of him and all over the racetrack. So we go back to green flag racing just a couple of laps in to our 20-lap feature. It's Domer, and this time the 21 that moves up to the front isn't that of Tracy Wolf, but it's Ryan Middaugh. There you see Dylan McCowan going hot into turn number 3. He goes up and over the cushion, loses a spot.
Did the same thing in the heat earlier on. He's just having a tough time judging how high he can go, especially over in turns 3 and 4. He's jumped it a number of times, and it has been very costly.
Domer, Middaugh, and Fuqua run 1, 2, 3. You can pretty much throw a blanket over the top 3 in the running order, but no give up in Dylan McCowan as he's flying around the top of the racetrack, brings his number 8 back into the top 5, and if he stays on that line, he could easily pass the 21 in the 292, but Lane Whitney has spun in turn 2 for his second time. 5, 6 spots between the two of them. The Wheatland Outlaw, Mike Striegel, says it's go time. Let's go green again here for the Modifieds. 3 across down the backstretch with Domer, Middaugh, and Darren Fuqua. They will stay just like that as they fly off of turn number 4, and Domer, man, the top of the track has really come in well, and Domer taking advantage of it.
And that is typically where Darren Fuqua would like to run. We've seen him pull off a majority of his passes over the years up on the top side, and he will finally decide to go up to the top shelf. He gets to the high side of Middaugh, unable to make anything work through turns 3 and 4, and Ryan Middaugh turning some fast laps, a 17.74, his fastest.
Middaugh in the middle between Domer and Fuqua, a 3-car breakaway for the top spot, and it's a 3-car pack back further in the field for 4th, 5th, and 6th. 4th place now taken over by the principal, Jason Pursley, as a pair of veterans. He and Tracy Wolf side by side with the youngster from Urbana, Dylan McCowan, your point leader. A great battle back there, the next 3 cars on the track.
Give Tracy Wolf a ton of credit as well, as he is having a good run here tonight. Car starting to go away just a little bit as he's lost some spots, and now Middaugh starting to make a run at Chase Domer again. Darren Fuqua just sitting back in 3rd, waiting for one of those top 2 cars to make a mistake.
Middaugh won it all here back on May 8th, his lone win here at the Lucas Oil Speedway this season. He gets a nose out in front of Domer this time, but Domer dive bombs off the top of turn number 2, flies down the backstretch. You see the differential the last time between those two, and just Domer's car is so hooked up around the top of this racetrack right now. Normally you think the shortest way around the track, the bottom, the best way around, but look at the run off the top of each of the turns that Domer gets.
Well, you almost wonder if this is going to turn into a race of will Chase Domer make a mistake. Ryan Middaugh's pretty much staying in the middle to the low side of the track. The top side is the place where it's a razor's edge. One little mistake, you jump the cushion, you lose a spot or 2. As the top 3 cars have all fanned out, now going back to 4th, that's where the principal and student sit back in 4th and 5th.
Dylan McCowan's so good. Jason Persley, so consistent week after week. But McCowan with that preferred line as he's running around the hub, right around the bottom of the racetrack, clears the 38C and finds himself in sole possession of the number 5 spot now after he clears Persley. But he has got a ton of room to make up now as the battle is back up front between Domer and Middaugh. Fuquay has yet to really throw his hat in with these top two. Shane just kind of being just a step behind him here, as again it's side-by-side racing until they get to the exit of the turn, and that's where that top lane seems to give Domer the advantage and just enough of a shove to stay in front of the 21.
And it's right here in turn 4 where Domer is typically able to get that run and just slingshot past Ryan Middaugh. Not near as much that time, as I think Middaugh is starting to get just an inch or two out in front more and more every lap, as you see the time differential starting to get cut as well.
You can't snap your fingers the amount of time that's in between Domer and Middaugh. Domer, another good move off the top of turn number 4. The laps continue to tick down.
And this is the point in time in the race where Darren Fuquay finally starts to make his move. He waits till the last 2 or 3 laps, doesn't show his hand too early. He waits till the very end. I just think right now he's a little too far behind to really make anything happen.
Yep, just a lap and a half now. It seems to be a 2-car race with Domer having that top spot. Middaugh has been around the bottom of the racetrack this entire time. Now he drifts up on the track off the exit of turn number 4. One more time around. Fuquay tries to pull up alongside him but can't. It's going to be Chase Domer into turn number 3. Domer to the top, Middaugh to the bottom, and Chase Domer has done it again. A winner in 2020.
Yeah, man, I'm just happy to get one when my wife and kids are here. We've been trying for a long time, and finally worked out tonight. We've been working hard. Thanks, Dad. Grandpa works his butt off on these tires. Man, it's just takes everybody.
Looking to pick up number 4 at the mid-season championship night. He'll have 25 laps to do it as we are underway in Wheatland. Scotty Allen, your pole sitter, and the number 12, able to hang on to that lead. But Burrow Woods back behind him, a former street stock driver making his first appearance in a stock car here at Lucas Oil Speedway. A brand new race car that he has built, and it is obviously bad fast as he sits back in second. A 3-car battle with multi-time winner and former track champion Derrick running the top side, having a great run as he has a top 5 position right now for Derrick Brown.
Brown going to the high side where a lot of the stock cars don't normally go, and that gives him a good run. But how about Burrow Woods taking that new race car and stopping all the forward momentum there of the 11? Both those cars trying to chase your race leader, Scotty Allen. That blue oval powered number 12 is racy and fast, and out to a nice lead. Let's say, boy, just 4 cars all battling while Scotty goes out on a Saturday night cruise of Main Street.
Yeah, that's 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, and now 6th, all in that wad of cars. Derrick Brown won the season opener. He was the defending street stock champion here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Makes the transition over to a stock car, won in week 1, but then he diverted from the stock car division, started running street stocks again over the last few weeks. He went from 1st in points, even though he has not been here for almost a month, still sits 10th in points. He is back, and he is looking to make an impact in his first return here to Lucas Oil Speedway in over a month. The battle for 3rd now, side by side with the 88 of Jeff Dixon out of Jamesport, Missouri, working to the inside of Burrow Woods, as Woods' car was running up in 2nd, looking for a top spot. Now he'll make contact as he goes down on the track, and the caution lights will flicker slowly through turn 3. Well, not quite so slow. Scotty Allen gets on the hammer real quick, and we're back underway. Burrow Wood, after being back in 3rd, uses the inside to his advantage, and Derrick Brown's going to lose a step as he was up in 2nd going top shelf. He's going to give up some ground first off to the 88 of Jeff Dixon. Burl Woods has that spot in second, right behind, and they're both going to run the same line, he and Scotty Allen on the inside.
Nobody else really wanting to go up and
Scotty Allen will lead the group through turns 3 and 4. Burl Woods stayed right with him on the last restart. Derrick Brown, last time we had a green flag restart, lost some track position. He's going to stay in the loud pedal up on the top side, get a big run off of turn number 2 and pull even with Burl Woods. Psycho Ed Griggs, our driver to watch. He's running right in the middle of the track. Scotty Allen right now has the entire field covered, as he has had no real challenge from back behind him, but the chase is on now. Brown, Griggs, Woods, they're all right there running second through fourth.
They will be 3 across through the middle of 3 and 4 with Woods on the inside. Griggs falls out of line, drops back in behind Derrick Brown, and Brown continues his assault on the cushion, cruising around the top of the racetrack. And that gives him a good run off the top of turn number 2 as he tries to rein in Scotty Allen. Allen's been
on 2 restarts. Can he do it on a third? Corey Derrick's getting better and better on restarts up on the top side. He's able to get a big run. He does it again to stay even wheel to wheel with Burl Woods. Here comes Psycho Ed Griggs. He see what Derrick Brown's doing. He's going to try it and not have near as much luck, as he's going to lose about 3 spots.
Dale Richardson having contact a little bit further back in the field with the big-time bail bonds entry. You saw him there momentarily in the all-white 327 as it continues to be a side-by-side race for second place, with Burl Woods barreling around the bottom of the racetrack and Derrick Brown continuing to cruise the high side here. And it is to Brown's benefit each time that they have been able to come off the corner, but now you see he has given up ground. Woods all alone in second place, as now the 11 of Derrick Brown drifting back around Jeff Dixon. Spider-Man trying to get around the 11, but Brown not leaving that top shelf.
Burl Woods will lose some ground that time. Just a little bit of a hiccup over in turn number 2, so that will let Derrick Brown catch back up with him. Scotty Allen just continues to march away up front, having no issues at all, getting out to about a 4 or 5 car length advantage and being able to maintain it. He has a 750 to win, and Scotty Allen would love to hit the pay window by the time this one's all said and done. Burl Woods in tow. They've been bottom feeding all night long, and nothing changes. For Burl Woods now, if he's going to make a run at Scotty Allen, we say it all the time, you can't do the same thing the leader does. You got to break formation, go somewhere else and try to find enough tack, and that's where Burl now goes to the top side. He knows he's got to do something if he's going to grab the lead.
He and Derrick Brown swap spots momentarily, with Burl going to the top and Brown going to the bottom. They will do so again as they chase Allen off of turn number 4 now, as Woods' brand new race car at Team 26 entry flying around the top of the racetrack. But so far, Shane, it doesn't seem to be gaining any ground, whether it's Woods up there or Brown who goes back up there to take that line again. They're just not gaining any on the 12.
Give a huge shout out to Dominic Tifo out of Wakarusa, Kansas. First time that neon orange 27 has been here at the Diamond of Dirt tracks, and he's going to get up into that 4-car mix. He was sitting back in 5th. He's going to try to pick them off one by one as Craig Wright exits the track over in turn 2. A little bit of contact between Dixon and Tifo, but none worse for the wear as Scotty Allen continues to check out again. Lead about a 1.5 seconds over Burl Woods back in 2nd. And how about Tifo? Here he comes. He was back in 5th. He's up to 3rd.
Dominic Tifo out of Kansas, Shane, in that 27D started 8th. Kind of just laid back the first half of this race. picking off one car at a time. There he bounces into the 88 again as he continues he and Jeff Dixon have a battle going back and forth.
We have a go-kart track over here to the west side of Lucas Oil Speedway. We have a bumper car track out there right in the middle of the Diamond of Dirt tracks with Tifo. He got into the back side of Burrow Woods. He got into the left side of Jeff Dixon. A lot of contact, and that's something else, Corey, about these cars. They are not exactly sensitive to where you take a bump, you're off the track. Speaking of being off the track, Derrick Brown will make the exit. He was having a top 5 run, and he's going to head back to the pit, so his night is done. Now the pass coming up through the field. This is one that's going to be for a third place position as Tifo looking to the inside of Dixon.
Tifo with that preferred line, hugging those tractor tires on the infield, then uses the side panel of that race car to get a little room between he and Dixon. He's got a half a car length advantage now as they vie for third place until the Boone's Barbecue Barn caution flag. As
Burrow Woods will try to hang right with him. He sits in second, Dixon in third, Tifo back in fourth. Right on the back bumper, Burrow Woods stays with him. Had to lift off the gas just a little bit, and that will give Scotty Allen enough cushion off of 2.
Between Allen and Woods, Shane, I don't know that either one of those guys with new race cars and guys that haven't had the opportunity to get out and race a lot would put a bumper to them to finish a pass. Dixon and Tifo, on the other hand, that are running in third and fourth, they've been willing to beat and bang on one another, and I have no doubt that they'll do the same if they can get around Burrow Woods and get a shot at Scotty Allen.
There's a little bump right there. Tifo and Dixon again make a little contact there, running third and fourth. Yeah, with the 33-year veteran and Scotty Allen out in front, I think there's probably nobody else in the building that anybody has more respect for than one would have for Scotty Allen. So I don't see anybody getting into him to make the pass, and with just a couple of laps to go, he again continues to have over a second advantage between first and second. Woods drifts way high on the track. That's going to cost him as Dixon looks to the inside. That's a battle for second. The race now is for second as the white flag will come out this time by for Scotty Allen. He will set sail. Dixon on the inside of Burrow Woods. Woods with the advantage. The former street stock driver, first time in a stock car this season, and he will wheel it to a podium finish as he's sitting in second right now. It's all Scotty Allen up front. He will come home with a victory here at Lucas Oil Speedway. Woods hangs on to second.
Well, this was my son's car. He ran third in the points over at Dallas County last year, and we've been working real hard on our B-Mod program and our stock car program, and I had my B-Mod, and I got a few boys down in the pits that I don't think I'm going to sell any more cars because I can't outrun any of them. I'm a little too old, so I got them. My son, he wanted to take a little break, and we did some trading, and I bought him a Fox Body Mustang he wanted to play with, and I bought this, and this is our second night out, and 2 heats, 2 wins, 2 features, 2 wins. Them old boys behind me, I look up at, and I mean, you get Burl and Derrick Brown, and man, I mean, that's some meat, and for us to come out and do that, I'm very happy, and because them are really good race car drivers.
That could help power him to a victory here tonight. The green flag goes up, and the B-Mods bear down here tonight in our A main for the Ozark Golf Cars USRA B-Mods. Will we see a new winner? We see a new midseason points champion with that narrow margin. 4 points in favor of Chris Jackson, and there's trouble in turn number 4, and Kyle Slater taking it too low. He ran out of real estate, and now we'll see half the field fly by the driver from Oklahoma who started inside of row 2.
Not one, but 2 big hits on those white tires for Kyle Slater. He nearly ramped off of one and then hit a brick wall in the other one. So tough luck for Kyle Slater at a great starting position. Expected to see some really big things out of him, and he is all but out of the picture now.
Good luck, though, for the driver of the F1 from Camdenton, Missouri, our driver to watch, Mitchell Franklin, and a man that dominates at Springfield, Ryan Gilmore, in that black and blue 66. He pulls up alongside the driver of the F1 as you see the race further back in the field. Newell Pursley and your current point leader, Chris Jackson, all vying for spots back there around 5th and 6th position.
Pursley on the high side, Jackson to the inside, and Chris Jackson, who has a 4-point advantage here in the midseason championship over Andy Bryant. He's not one to really look in the rearview mirror and see where competition is. He is goal-oriented, and his goal every single week is to win. He didn't have a great starting position, but as we've seen before, and we saw it with Andy Bryant in the B feature, these guys that know how to get around Lucas Oil Speedway can get to the front in a hurry.
With Eric Turner and J.C. Morton. Morton pulling double duty tonight with his B-Mod and that Moon Brothers Racing late model. He and Mitchell Franklin go side by side, but the Rubel race engine powering the F1, allowing Franklin to try and keep a nose out in front as he gives chase on the 99T. You see the All About Pause entry for Turner. Morton now moves up at the top of the racetrack. We saw Andy Bryant use the top of the racetrack to pass 17 cars to win the B main. Is Morton on a rail now and ready to get around in front of his Allen Autosports teammates? There's the cross. Immediately, J.C. Morton goes to the bottom of the racetrack, slides up the top, and Morton out in front for the first time tonight.
What a move by J.C. there on the front stretch to dive to the inside, not do anything to put his car in jeopardy. He knew how much space he had between he and Eric Turner, and now that he has gotten past him, he is starting to set sail a good 3-car length advantage.
A good battle still for second now as basically Turner and Morton trade spots. Not going anywhere is the youngster, Mitchell Franklin. He keeps the F1 at the bottom of the racetrack, doesn't give the line away to the veteran. Turner able to hold on to the number 2 spot. Then you slide back a little bit further. They're all alone for 4th is Ryan Gilmore. Gilmore's got a big gap back to Newell and Chris Jackson. The 83 and the 65 racing side by side further back in the field. As the caution lights come on again, more trouble for Quentin Taylor. This time he and Morton. He'll mash down on the go button and we will get back to green flag racing. A good move by Mitchell Franklin on the restart, trying to slide down and stop the forward progress of the 99. He and Eric Turner may have touched over there, and Turner's car doesn't turn. It drifts up the racetrack, and there is trouble. Andy Bryant gets hit. Jerry Ellis gets hit. On another one, sitting back in 4th, and Chris Jackson, a man with a 4-point lead in the points race, now getting his 65 into the top 5. Make that the top 4 after the restart here, as he tries to pin J.C. Newell to the inside. See Mitchell Franklin around the bottom of the racetrack. J.C. Morton up to the top. It'll be Morton, the man that stays out in front, as we go back to green flag racing here, halfway home in this one.
How about a shout out to Kyle Slater? After pole vaulting over a tire, he's now knocking on the door of a top 5.
Pole vaulting a couple of tires, because he didn't just hit one. I think he clipped a couple. So amazing that he could get back up on the wheel, get those elbows up, get that 327 into the top 5. But we have seen him do some impressive stuff in a street stock here before, and now a couple of drivers are trying their hand at the top of the racetrack, and it's working for J.C. Morton, Ryan Gilmore, and Kyle Slater. They run 1, 3, and 5 right now with a couple of bottom feeders in Mitchell Franklin and Chris Jackson, running in 2nd and 4th.
Gillimonster there in the 66. Yeoman engine, Hoffman chassis, 21 wins. Last year, the elusive win at Lucas Oil Speedway still has not come his way. He thought he had it one year, got DQ'd. He has run 2nd here more times than he can count.
Like 14 times. That was one of the things that he pointed out to us about last year that I thought was hysterical. Couldn't remember much else, but could tell you how many times he'd finished in 2nd place, trying to get that elusive victory here. Now as the field has pretty much staggered itself out here with Morton, Franklin, Gilmore, Jackson, and Slater breaking away in that top 5 group. Then J.C. Newell leads a group that starts the next 5 that rounds out the top 10 that includes Sean Whitman and the 32 of Robbie Ewing. Happy to have Robbie back at the racetrack. He and his wife Kelsey welcome their daughter Mason to the world, born on May 9th. So congratulations to the new dad. He's trying to break his way into the top 5, but to do so he's got to get around J.C. Newell, and Newell has been so good this year at so many different racetracks. Trouble back in the pack. The 56 of Troy Witt is off the racetrack and on the infield now. We continue green flag racing here with J.C. Morton trying to run away and hide with this one. He had a 0.7 of a second advantage over Mitchell Franklin on the last lap. With 3 laps to go, he has extended it now, Shane, to 1.2 seconds.
There's the battle for third with Gilmore and Jackson. Way it sits now, Jackson would be your midseason champ.
See what he can do with Gilmore in the final 2 laps. J.C. Morton closing in on lap traffic, but I don't think it's going to be an area of concern. The area for concern is kid Chris Jackson pick up another spot. He continues to catfish the bottom of the racetrack as the white flag comes out. Gilmore cuts off his nose, and J.C. Morton takes off of the bottom of the racetrack now. He had been around the top for so long. As Gilmore and Jackson continue to battle, it'll be J.C. Morton off the bottom of turn number 4, and he takes the checkered flag here tonight.
Yeah, you know, they're early. Eric was a little better than us, and he kind of rotated around us on the first 5 or 6 laps. Had that restart, and I was thinking to myself, do I want to choose top or bottom? I figured I'd give the top one chance since it's so early, and it ended up working and get me back to the lead. And I seen Mitchell Franklin's nose down there a lap or 2, and figured it's time to protect, and if somebody wants to pass us, they can go up there and try.
We will see these late models roar to life again off of turn 4. See if we can get a green flag lap in this time around. J.C. Morton gets behind the wheel of that 72, to which Will Vaught had already taken that car to victory lane earlier on this year. We know it has some speed. The man behind the wheel, though, and for everything that J.C. Morton does good, you look at what he does in this late model, still just hasn't quite found the touch of the accelerator, when to lift, when to get back on it. It's something that's going to come with time. The guy that leads this one right now, Corey John of FENNEWALD, he has just about as much experience as anybody at this track.
Yep, so do some of the drivers back behind him as you get a look there at Larry Ferris, your current point leader, Cole Henson. Todd McCoy as well in a battle back there, 4th, 5th, and 6th. But Johnny FENNEWALD is just one of those guys that it is so hard to get past, and right now he is checking out on the field because you've got a 2-car battle for second. Now as Ferris gets to the inside of J.C. Morton, who just got done winning a B-Mod feature just moments ago.
Side by side for second, side by side for 4th as well, as Larry Ferris finally able to get around J.C. Morton. They line out nose to tail, and maybe that's the break that Larry needed with 14 to go to try to reel in your current race leader.
Reel in? It's a 4.5 second advantage right now for FENNEWALD because of all the fighting from second on back. Ferris gets free of it now, but FENNEWALD is just flying, and now it's a new 3-car battle for third with J.C. Morton trying to hold on to the spot and fend off Todd McCoy and the hammer Cole Henson. Henson coming into tonight, he had plenty of wiggle room, I guess you'd say, Shade, as far as the point lead goes, with 61 points. And the guy next closest to him, Dalton Imhoff, had to start at the back of the pack tonight.
And here's the thing you'll see with these late models, and I'll say it now and hopefully I won't jinx it. Very rarely do you get a lot of cautions in this class. We are able to rattle some laps off.
Yes.
And if that's the case, then Larry Ferris is going to have a tough time catching up with the Flash. The Flash is set sail, and no one's going to get to him. Larry really needs to see the yellow hanky fly in the hair if he's going to have a chance with Johnny Fennewald.
He's losing ground, Shane, Larry Ferris. When he finally broke free of J.C. Morton, it was a 4.5-second differential. That differential the last time around, and now this time around, is almost 6 seconds. The Flash is stretching his legs out and is way out in front of the pack. And this is a fast race car that Ferris has. I called it the fire truck a couple of weeks ago. That 51 is crazy fast. But Fennewald is on a whole other level right now.
He will get into some lap traffic. He's already gotten around Chad Richwine. Dalton Imhoff the next to go a lap down. Now you see it's Larry Jones, the number 99, as we have reached the midway point here in our 20-lap feature. Your current point leader is Cole Henson there in the number 31. He leads by 61 points. He's got 2 wins on the season. He won April 17th, won again on May 15th. So the chances of him not being a midseason champ here tonight, slim to none, and Slim's pretty much already left the building as Cole Henson, the hammer, works to the inside, trying to get around McCoy.
That car owned by Rob Schlope. Sponsored by Superior Power Custom Homes, Windy Ridge Landscaping, Lee's Door Company. 2-time winner this year, so already up on what he did a year ago when he won his track championship here without ever going to victory lane. But right now he cannot get around the 7X. A great run going for Barnett, Missouri's Todd McCoy, whose best finish here this year is a 3rd.
McCoy stays on the high side. The hammer looks to the low side, just unable to get any momentum at all off of a turn as we're now down approaching 5 laps to go. So the Flash out in front. Johnny brought his modified as well, something that he ran during a Show Me 100 weekend. We have seen local drivers try to compete in that in the late model class, but whenever you're running up against the MLRA, you're running up against the Lucas Oil late models, you're running up against those guys that compete for, hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Like at Eldora this week.
kind of difficult for the local guys like a Johnny Fennewald to compete, as he just turned his fastest lap of 17.276.
And he is just hammering the field shape. It's now over 8 seconds, the difference between he and Ferris. It is literally like he is playing chess and everybody else is playing checkers. He is blowing the doors off the field tonight. And we've seen Fennewald be dominant before, but this is crazy.
Yeah, this is not your typical performance by Johnny Fennewald, as we've gotten just a couple of laps now. Running lap number 19, they'll get the white flag this time around for the Flash, Johnny Fennewald. Ran his modified 2 weekends ago, had a good job, or did a good job coming out and playing with his toy. Now he's back in his main office. He's behind the wheel of a late model, and he is destroying the field. He has put nearly everybody a lap down. 8.3 second advantage for Johnny Fennewald. The car that was running in second for most of the race, he gets around J.C. Morton, and he will win the feature here tonight, and he does it in high fashion, destroying the field for his 2nd win of the season.
No, we finally had a good, smooth racetrack. You know, we've been battling this rough, wide open stuff and just tearing up stuff, and it's just kind of nice to have a really awesome racetrack tonight, and, you know, it's a pretty good night.